Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's been a really long time and you might be like, who's this guy? Why is he uploading? You know, it's been quite a bit of time since my last upload, and this video is really just going to be an update and my 500 subscriber special, because I really wanted to say thank you all for 500 subscribers. It means a lot to me. It's crazy that I've come this far, and I'm very upset I haven't uploaded over the past couple of months, but I'm definitely working on getting back into steady uploads and regular uploads, and it's going to be awesome. The channel's coming back. It's going to be good, and I hope you guys look forward to it. I know I am. I'm having a lot of fun recording again. I've got about 15 videos pre-recorded right now. I'm basically working on getting a whole bunch of videos pre-recorded before I get back into it. So I've got a whole bunch of, like, leeway, I guess you could say, so I don't end up starting a series and then not finishing it. I want to get it pre-recorded so I know I will continue. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But this is my 500 subscriber special, and I wanted to go ahead and show you guys my main file, something I've talked about a lot, and just yesterday I finally got everything transferred over to Pokemon Sun, which is my main file now. It was on my Pokemon X up until now, but I got everything transferred, and I even transferred my playthrough on the Yellow Virtual Console, so that team's over here, almost all of it anyways. You guys know, see what I mean when I get into that. So if you guys don't care about this, I'll just go ahead and do my little update now, and then we'll get into the special, I guess. So, if you are curious, I am going to be starting YouTube again. I have a Let's Play fully recorded. That'll be going up alongside the White 2 Wedlocke that we started back a couple of months ago. I am going to be continuing that. I have a couple episodes pre-recorded of it. I'm getting back into that, and that'll be going alongside this Let's Play, and that'll be me easing back into YouTube. I'm not going to be continuing the Pokemon Moon Wedlocke. I'm going to wait until we finish White 2 and maybe another series. Maybe it'll be after White 2. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'll have to figure all that out. I just wasn't feeling it. I felt like it was too rushed, and we didn't really do too much in that. And I think what we should do is where we were going to start off with, or continue off, I should say, and we're going to finish the White 2 Wedlocke. It is resumed from where it left off. So if you missed those episodes or forget them, you can go back and watch the first 3 that are already on the channel and get prepared for the series to come back. I'm really excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm not going to spoil what the Let's Play is going to be, but it's a non-Pokemon Let's Play, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. I've talked about it a lot. Some people might be able to figure it out, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun, a little mini-series, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy that. So that being said, let's jump into my main file. Now, I have everything over here. A lot of stuff is in Pokemon Bank. My living dex is in Pokemon Bank, and I'll get into the Pokemon Bank after we do what's on the file. But what I do is I transfer my living dex over to my main file to fill in the national dex, which unfortunately there isn't a national dex in this game yet. Hopefully they'll add one. But I haven't actually finished the Alola Pokedex yet because I haven't been playing Pokemon over the past few months. I'll fill it out. There's nothing I'm missing, really. I'm missing Incineroar, whatever its middle evolution is. I don't remember. I haven't played Sun and Moon very much. I'm thinking of doing a Moon Wedlocke in my own time to get a little bit more familiar with Sun and Moon. So when we do a Moon Wedlocke on the channel, it'll be a little bit better. Primarina and Brionne, this is simple. I've got Popplio and Litten. All I gotta do is breed them and evolve them. It's not too... What? That looked shiny. Okay, I never mind. I was like, what is that shiny for? But these 2 are finished. And the only thing I'm missing from the Akala Pokedex is Oranguru, which I haven't done yet because I haven't played through Moon yet. But when I do, I'll get one. It's no big deal. I'm in no hurry for it. I'm not shiny hunting or anything. That's all I'm missing on there. It's nothing special. Everything else is on Pokemon Bank, like I said. We'll jump into that after this. But this is the box to keep my shiny Pokemon in. Any shiny Pokemon that wasn't used on a team. This one I found fully random on the Sun version that I'm playing right now. This was my first Sun and Moon shiny. It's completely random when I was training. It was pretty neat, I guess, although I already have a shiny Crobat, as you guys know. This was my first SOS shiny, which was pretty neat. This one was from Masada Method when I was still playing. I got it prematurely, so I didn't get to get the one I was breeding for, unfortunately. It's pretty bad. And this is the shiny Torchic that I soft reset for on Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Now, I got this. I was super happy about it. I was going to do a shiny lock. Oh, not a shiny lock. I was going to do a shiny dex on Not a Shiny X, what is it? Shiny Quest on Omega Ruby. I never got around to it, so I just traded it over here. And I thought it was really cool. I got it in like 24 soft resets, which was crazy because I had done like 3,000 eggs on Masada Method on X and Y, and I never got one. And I did like 1,500 eggs on Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So I was definitely happy about that. It was really cool. And all of these are just random. This one is the first shiny I got in X and Y. I don't really count these in my shinies because they're chain fishing, and this was completely random, actually, in X and Y, so that was kind of neat. But all the other ones are like Friend Safari and chain fishing, and I don't really care about them as much. I only really count the 8,192 shinies, which, as you guys know, I have only ever had 3 in my life, which is the Crobat, my Linoon, and the shiny Golduck that we got in the Heart Gold Wedlock. That's it for those. This is my competitive Pokemon box. I've never really done very much competitive battling. I got this Mimikyu from Masada Method on this Sunfile, so that was really neat. I really liked this one. Dust Bunny is a really cool name for Mimikyu, I think. And I'm going to bottle cap that when it gets to 100. But I don't really do much competitive battling. These are Pokemon I bred on X and Y. This one is from a friend, and this one is also from a friend. Yeah, they're both from the same person, as you can see. And that's about it. These guys are all bred as well. This one's from a friend. This one I bred. And this one I bred as well. This was the first Pokemon I ever... this is the first Pokemon I ever... actually bred, like... I guess you can say, for competitive battling. It was my first EV trained and everything, which was pretty neat. I guess you can do that by pushing Y? I don't remember. No, Y is search. I haven't played Pokemon for a really long time, bear with me. But it's EV trained and everything, which is the first Pokemon I ever did that with. If you push Y, yeah, there you go. Alright, and its nickname is also a little bit of a reference and hint to the Let's Play. So, if you guys want to go ahead and figure that one out. These are just things I got from Wonder Trade and things that I caught in SOS battles for breeding projects down the line. This is my False Swipe Smeargle. It's pretty neat, I suppose, with Recycle and Lepa Berry. It was kind of cool, and its nickname is a reference to the Sly Cooper series. No, that's not the Let's Play I'm going to be doing. But its nickname is after the painter Dimitri, and he says Greasy Sweet a lot, and that's his little nickname on something. I don't remember exactly, but Greasy Sweet was a kind of cool nickname, I thought. Nice little reference. Couple of Dittos here for breeding. Nothing special. So, let's jump into the Pokemon that I actually really care about, and that mean everything to me. I have 9 boxes of Pokemon. These are all teams in order that I've done from different playthroughs, and this is the first team I ever saved. This is from a Heart Gold file. Everything after this file I saved, and these Pokemon were the first Pokemon I ever saved. They were the original team on the Heart Gold file when I started saving everything, so they mean a lot. They actually didn't have nicknames at the time. These nicknames I put on them when I transferred them over, because I didn't want them to not have nicknames. So this team actually didn't have names, but they're all named after stuff from the game Spelunky. So we have Olmec, Mantrap, Yama, Anubis, Kapala, which is spelled wrong on my part, sorry about that, and Old Bitey, which is pretty sweet. So this team was back when I named things really stupid names. We have Sandosian, Late Sprout, because it took so long to evolve, Sunshield, Repeat Ball, which I actually kind of like it, because all I ever did was Thunderbolt, and it's a ball, so it repeats itself a lot, which is pretty neat, I guess. Jelly Belly, which is, you know, a pretty standard name for a Tentacruel, and Chosen One, I don't know. I have a lot of Blaziken, because you can't always use different starters, but you'll notice a theme with these teams. I try to use different Pokemon. I've used so many different Pokemon that it's kind of hard, it's almost impossible to play through games now on a regular playthrough and use Pokemon that I haven't used before. So this team was a Spyro naming theme from Worlds and Spyro. We have Zephyr, Metropolis, Harikos, Scorch, Colossus, that's the golem that I always talked about when we used our Geodude and Platinum named Colossus, and the first shiny, well, not the first shiny Pokemon I ever caught, but this is Glimmer the Crobat. The Glimmer the Crobat that's always been talked about, as you guys know. This is Glimmer himself in Blood and Flesh. That's the shiny. That's the second shiny I ever caught, 8,182. And funny story, I have found the first shiny I ever found was a Zubat in Seafoam Islands on Leaf Green when I was a really, really young kid, and I thought it was a glitch and ran away from it. And then 10 years later, I actually found another shiny Zubat in my Fire Red, doing this playthrough in Mount Moon. And that's when Glimmer was born, so it was like my little redemption shot. This team is also after Spyro. We have Satyr, Ripto, Hunter, Electrol, which is spelled wrong as well, Earthshape, which is spelled wrong as well because there was only a 10-character limit in Fire Red. This is a Fire Red team. This is also a Fire Red team, Emerald team, Heart Gold team. I'll try and remember to say all that stuff. This is actually supposed to be Earthshaper, but it didn't fit back then. And a Nork. So those are these guys. Then this team is where I caught my first ever shiny. This is Ringtail. Ringtail the Linoon. Everybody knows Ringtail in my series because I've talked about it a lot. It's the first shiny Pokemon I ever caught. This was an Emerald playthrough, and he means the world to me. And it's funny because he also has a 31 IV and attack, which I found pretty interesting. It's kind of cool, I suppose. And this is Indian Burn, which I thought was kind of neat. Toy Soldier. This is back when I gave him kind of dumb names. Mrs. Krabs, and Jadinko, which is a RuneScape reference, and Black Demon, which is also a RuneScape reference. That's the first box. I know there's 9. I'm going to try and speed through this. If you guys don't care, I understand, but a lot of my longtime fans might want to see some of the Pokemon that I've used, and all of their nicknames and stuff like that, their references to a whole bunch of stuff. This is a Sly naming theme. We have Clockwork, Dimitri, Arpeggio, Carmelita, Panda King, and Rajan. Those names will mean something if you played Sly, and if not, they'll mean something when I inevitably let's play it someday. This is Torpedo. Oh, that was a Platinum playthrough. I traded over Rajan to use a Pokemon I had never used before, because I didn't have Pokemon Ruby at the time. I had lost it, but I have a couple copies now. We have Torpedo the Octillery. We have Tundra the Frostlass. Amarillo the Shiny Lucario. I'll get into that in a minute. Dementio, which is a Paper Mario reference, Porygon Z, Red Bull, Rampardos, the Shiny Rampardos, I'll get into that in a minute as well, and Landmass, which I'm surprised actually kept its name because it's got ass in it. I know, I said a swear word, oh boy, you guys get it. It's just to talk about it, I suppose. So, I'll get into the elephants in the room, the Shinies here with the OT Cody. This is when I was first found out about RNG manipulation. This is a Platinum playthrough, and I RNG manipulated these into eggs, which they're fake shinies, but they're real. But I don't actually count them. That's why they were able to go through. I just wanted to play around with it just for fun, and that's why they look like that. They're just regular Pokemon, though. This is a Heart Gold or Soul Silver playthrough. I'm not too sure. Also a Sly naming theme. El Jefe Toothpick, which I have a great story behind him. I'm not going to get into it. It's nothing special, but he's one of my favorite Pokemon I've ever used. Black Baron, Grizz, which Grizz is really neat. I definitely like Tyranitar, the Grizz name for Tyranitar. It's pretty fitting, I'd say. Laparadox, and Decibel. And here is a RuneScape naming theme. This is an Emerald team. We have Avatar, the Slacking, Inadequacy, the Bayonet, Nomad, the Swampert, Elvarg, Micargo, Camille, the Tropius, which is actually one of my Sweet Scent Pokemon, and Zenivia, the Metacham. This is a Sly naming theme again. I know, I've exhausted every name possible. This is a Fire Red or Leaf Green team. We have Slay, the Primate, Tennessee Kid Cooper, the Dodrio, Henriette, the Jinx, I'll get into that in a minute, Ryoichi, the Omastar, Gallup, the Venusaur, and Salim Alcupar, the Flareon. So, Henriette, actually, this was the traded Jinx on Fire and Leaf Green. I was going to try and use a cheat code. That's why they have different OTs. I was going to try and use a cheat code to change the name. I'm sorry if you hear my dog. He's being awful right now. It's okay. I was going to try and use a cheat code to change its name to Henriette, because I just called her Henriette, and I wanted to use a Jinx on this playthrough, but yeah, I couldn't do that, and it bothered me too bad that it didn't have a nickname, so I caught a random Jinx on Heart Gold and named it Henriette just to fit in with the team. So this isn't actually the original Henriette. That's the only Pokemon in the entire team boxes like that. It just bothered me a lot, and there wasn't really much I could have done about it. I'll get into these two Pokemon in the party box really quick. These are Chili, the Magmortar, and Beef, the Azumarill. They're from a wedlock together, and they're the only lone survivors. I basically had its full team of 6 that meant a lot to me. They were here the whole game. I've told you this story in a lot of wedlock episodes, probably. But they all 4 died right before the Elite Four, meaning I had to release them, and it was like the last trainer in Victory Road. I didn't want to train up 4 more Pokemon. I gave up on the challenge at that point, because we had so many deaths, and I just... Those 4 meant too much to me, I couldn't go on. So I just traded these 2 over. And in hindsight, I wish I would have just traded all 6 over. But they died, these 2 lived, and there's some great stories behind them. So I kept them. And because they don't fit in a 6 slot, I just go ahead and keep them in my party at most times. when I'm not doing anything else. So here is another Sly naming team. This is a Heart Gold, and so this is a Soul Silver team, actually. We have Guru, Mr. Mime, Rally the Frog, the Feraligatr, Murray the Rhyperior, General Sao, the Yanmega, Octavio the Weezing, and Mugshot the Ursaring. This is a random team with random names, but I like it. Caveman the Marowak, Ruby the Persian, Goma the Pinsir, Erectus the Kingdra, or Seadra, because this is a Fire Red and Leaf Green team. I just evolved it afterwards. Jinmenju, the Exeggutor, and Volvagia, the Charizard. This is a Platinum team. We have Volps, the Glaceon, Hellhound, the Houndoom. I'm surprised that goes through. Apton, the Empoleon, and Nura, the Toxicroak. Columba, the Togekiss, and Bahamut, the Hippowdon. Names that are strange, but that are like these names, they all have meaning through the Wikipedia page. I just go to Bulbapedia and try to come up with some cool name based on their origin. That's where these types of names come from. This is Phantom of the Opera, Roserade. Viaz, which is after some mountain, Mamoswine. Wi-Fi, the Lickilicky. Get it? Because it's got the Wi-Fi symbol on its belly. I love that name. Ramayana, the Infernape. Telk, the Vaporeon. And Glad, the Dusknoir, which is a RuneScape reference. We have Arborea. That's a Platinum playthrough, if you weren't able to tell. This is Arborea the Politoed, Corvus the Honchkrow, Teed, or Tide, I don't know how to say it, some volcano, Typhlosion, Heifer the Heracross, Okapi the Girafarig, and the famous Aman, Sudowoodo, this Aman, the Sudowoodo is the reason Sudowoodo is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. I've talked about it throughout my playthroughs. You guys should know who Aman is if you're a longtime viewer. That was a Soul Silver Heart Gold playthrough, I'm not entirely sure. Alright, this Pokemon right here, Kaze or Kaze. I always said Kaze, but apparently it's Kaze. The Chimecho meant the world to me in this Emerald playthrough. He was so much fun to use. I had a lot of fun with him. We have Paipu, the Exploud, Raku, the Cradily, Aquila, the Altaria, Chize, the Walrein, and Phoenix, the Blaziken. This is an XD playthrough. We have Naila, which is a Sly reference, the Ninetales, Glaceor, which is a RuneScape reference, the Glalie, Adrenaline, the Umbreon, Juju, the Breloom, Inguish, the Golduck, and Majora's Mask, the Claydol. I abandoned the Espeon on this playthrough because I had used Espeon before. We have Sheila, which is a Spyro reference, the Kangaskhan. That will make a ton of sense if you know who Sheila is. Sheila's a kangaroo. We have Spawned, the Cloyster, Recoil, the Magnezone. This is a Fire Red playthrough, so that was just a Magneton. Hexus, the Charizard, Arcity, the Venomoth, and Monty the Mole, the Dugtrio. This is also an XD playthrough. We have, this is actually, Coliseum playthrough, my bad. This is an XD playthrough either. This is a, no, this is an XD playthrough, my bad. And this one is a Coliseum playthrough. We have Peach, the Fearow, Hooktail, the Mawile, Black, the Mightyena, Black, and Hooktail, and Peach. Oh, these are all Paper Mario references. We have Smorg, the Arbok, Mimi, the Sandslash, and Grodus, the Espeon. Gargana, the Skarmory, Bentley, the Torkoal, which is a Sly reference, Hariyama, Rikishi, the Hariyama, Optera, the Wailord, Orochi, the Sceptile, and Lupus, the Manectric. This is an Emerald playthrough. Alright, box 5. I'm trying to make it quick. I'm sorry, but it's definitely interesting to go back through all these Pokemon and see their names and stuff. It's been a long time since I used a lot of these Pokemon. We have Jumbo the Donphan, Fuse the Vileplume, Spunya the Hitmontop, Wanda the Ambipom, Chima the Gorbis, and Goron the Metagross. This is actually a Heart Gold and Soul Silver playthrough. I traded a lot of Pokemon over that I wanted to use that I hadn't, that would be kind of difficult to use, like Gorbis or Metagross, because they're hard to get in a lot of in a lot of Pokemon games. Hitmontop as well. Donphan too. Okay, this is one of my favorite teams. This is from Black and White 2. I used these guys a lot, and obviously their levels are pretty high because I did everything in that Black and White 2 playthrough. We have Torch, the Darmanitan, Abyssal, the Meanshao, Lazuli, the Lapras, Minotaur, the Excadrill, Basilisk, the Superior, and Monroe, the Braviary. We have Ozon, the Volcarona, which is who I use to fly and breed eggs, so I use him more than anybody else. These are all RuneScape references, my bad. Ozan, the Volcarona, Gorak, the Crocodile, Guffin, the Lucario, Aviancy, the Sigilyph, Bunyip, the Electros, and Wolasalki, the Samurott. These are Avatar references. This is a black and white 2 playthrough as well. This is Iroh the Garbodor, which is female. I, missed that. Zuko the Emboar, Sokka the Espeon, Katara the Simipour, one of the reasons Simipour is my favorite monkey, Momo the Chinchino, and Mako the Flygon. Not to be mixed up with Mako, not Mako, not to be confused with Mako Island from H2O. This is a platinum playthrough. Tanzanite the Drapion, Aquamarine the Whiscash, Amethyst the Drifblim, Onyx the Luxray, Peridot the Infernape, and Pearl the Abomasnow. We're almost there. Alright, we have X and Y. This is Roadhouse the Chestnut, Chili the Rotom, Vargo the Gengar, Red Lobster the Shiny Klitzer. That's from Chain Fishing. I just wanted to use a shiny in a playthrough. Applebee the Noivern, Wendy the Renacles. And next up is another black and white 2 playthrough. Really cool team. Celsius the Chandelure, Afromona the Simisage, who I traded over in replace of my starter because I had used all the starters at the time. Electrico the Galvantula, Tricerium the Aggron, Pantaloon the Scrafty, one of my favorite nicknames ever. Get it? Because he's got pants, and he's a lunatic. He's a Pantaloon. Valentine the Swanna. And this is one of my favorite teams right here. I named all these guys after trees, black and white too. Of Evergreen the Haxorus, Sugi the Cofagrigus, Willow the Sawsbuck, Hawthorne the Zoroark, Sequoia the Scolipede, and K-Pok the Samurott. This is my X and Y team that I used when X and Y came out. This is the original X and Y team right here. We have Bean the Goodra, Kincon the Aurorus, Kame the Heliolisk. That's a reference to Spyro. It's a Japanese name. I believe Kame, or Kame. I don't know how you say it. I always said Kame, but it's a reference. It's a Japanese name to the level Sunny Beach in Spyro, I believe. Tad the Greninja. That's a Frogger reference. Something I actually considered Let's Playing here. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Glitz the Hawlucha from the wrestling ring Glitzville in Paper Mario. And Chaotic, which is a reference to RuneScape. This is the original Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire team that I used. Toph the Ludicolo. We have Edward Scissorhands the Armaldo. Eve the Gardevoir, that is a Isaac reference. Polyphemus the Dusknoir, also an Isaac reference. Sereno the Blaziken, and Thud the Salamence. Well, that's pretty neat. Here we go, box 7. X and Y playthrough as well. This X and Y playthrough was really fun for me, actually. As much as I hate the games, I had fun with this regular playthrough. Outburst the Pangoro. Cold Stone the Avalugg. It's named after a ice cream place, which is pretty neat. Danny Phantom the Trevenant. Get it? Danny Phantom. Danny Trevenant. Not the same, but it's still pretty neat. You get the point. Pillsbury Doughboy the Slurpuff. Amber the Tyrantrum. And Ariane the Delphox, which is a RuneScape reference. This is the first Wedlock team that I ever saved, I believe. One of the first. It's one of the first I saved, but I didn't transfer them over till very, very late because they sat on Fire Red for a really long time. This was a loss. I lost to the champion, but it's got a really cool story. We have Orange the Rapidash and Honeydew the Hypno. Then we have Mango the Primeape and Turnip the Vileplume, and Watercress the Cloyster. Longtime fans will remember Watercress for sure, and Radish the Electabuzz. So, let me think. Hold on here. Yeah. I believe it was Radish and Orange, and then these two. My bad. But yeah, I think those two were together. And then these two. Yeah, okay. So, basically cool story. I got wiped pretty much by the time we fought Bruno. When I left the fight with Bruno, all I had left was Mango. Mango beat Agatha. Mango beat Drake. Not Drake. Mango beat Agatha and Lance all by herself. And lost to the Pidgeot from the champion, obviously. But it was very cool how she managed to pull off so much. Mango is definitely a really good Pokemon in my eyes. I'll never forget Mango's endeavors there. It was a lot of fun. So this one is the Platinum Wedlock on the channel. You guys should remember these guys. We have Batwing the Crobat and Gauntlet the Ambipom. We have Comet the Vaporeon and Cobra the Gliscor. And Gemini the Weavile and Queen Bee the Vespiquen. That was really cool. I hadn't used a Vespiquen yet, so it was neat to get that added to my team's box. This is the Johto part of the Heart Gold Wedlock. You guys remember these guys. Gumbo the Ariados, Gugaris the Gengar, Guacamole the Exeggutor, and Bree the Quagsire, Coleslaw the Corsola, and Roast the Machamp, which was really neat because I found out Roast had a 31 attack stat and IV, which was pretty sweet, you know? That's no wonder my buddy was so strong. Alright, we have Lasagna the Mismagius, and Omelette the Togekiss, Panzanella the Blossom, and Wings the Shiny Golduck, Samosa the Lantern, and Enchilada the Hitmonchan. So that's those guys. You guys remember them, of course. And who can forget these guys? Umber the Stoutland, Shamrock the Superior, Rose the Chinchino, Royal the Sigilyph, Twister the Archeops, and Sharkle the Crocodile. Now you might notice the OT is Kuro Adarisk. Violet means something very, very nasty in French, so it was censored and replaced with a different name. Luckily, they didn't change the nicknames of the Pokemon. That would have made me really sad, but luckily they didn't. This is my first Nuzlocke that I ever did. This is the team that I lost to Marshall with in black, but it was McFlurry the Vanillix, Oven Baked the Simisear, Hash Slash the Bisharp, Automaton the Golurk, Hope the Unpheasant, and Mazoa the Archeops. Okay, now we have this team. This was the second Nuzlocke I ever did. It was on White 2, and I had 0 deaths the entire game. It was a 5 healing items per battle, like, between everybody. It was Taro the Crobat, Norwalk the Electivire, Prague the Flygon, Sandusky the Samurott, Pomona the Stoutland, and Nashville the Bayonet. I had 0 deaths when I entered the Elite Four, but I lost everybody in the Elite Four except for Pomona and Nashville. These two survived the Elite Four. But it was pretty neat having 0 deaths the entire game. It's definitely a good memory. Next up is my Omega Ruby Wedlock. This was the first Wedlock I ever did, and it was a loss against Steven. I lost against Steven on his final Pokemon, Metagross, and all I had left was Athena. But we have Zeus the Linoon and Athena the Roserade, Thanatos the Alakazam, and Castor the Ninjask. The reason Ninjask is one of my favorite Pokemon, and Morpheus the Swampert, and Rhea the Dustox. This was a Wedlock I did in X and Y. Sandstone the Flygon and Ruby the Slowking, Pumice the Pidgeot, and Amber the Medicham, and Rom the Goodra, and Celestine the Florges. Now, it was really fun. I had a great time with that. Everybody had done really well, and I lost only one Pokemon, and I lost Amber to Diantha. But other than that, everybody survived it. It was a really, really fun challenge. I had a lot of fun with that one. And the final box, which is the Omega Ruby Wedlock on the channel. We have Crocus the Ninjask and Sequoia the Hariyama, Heather the Slacking and Olive the Dustox, and Sunflower the Ninetales and Cedar the Gyarados. This was the team that started my channel, so they definitely mean a lot. And this is the team that I used on X and Y, well, Sun and Moon when they first came out. Old Rock the Komala, that would be a Sly Cooper reference. There's a Koala Bear in Sly named the Guru, and his code name is Old Rock, so I thought that was an incredible nickname. I love Old Rock. He was a lot of fun to use. Josh Peck, the Decidueye. Awesome, because Rowlet is spherical, so Josh Peck was a great name. Bristle, this is a Paper Mario reference, the Thousand Year Door. Bristle, the Minior. We have Snorkler, the Crabominable, which Snorkler is a reference to Spyro. Boonsa, the Salazzle, also a reference to Spyro. And Asteroid, the Arachnid, because it looks like a little asteroid in a little bubble. I thought that was neat. And this was my Pokemon Yellow Virtual Console playthrough. It's missing a slot because you can't transfer Mew. I decided to use a glitch Mew, and unfortunately I can't bring the whole team along, which makes me very sad. This is Magilla the Gorilla, the Nidoking, Rhino the Jolteon, Scythe the Kabutops, Bruce Lee the Hitmonlee, and W the Pidgeot. I'd never used a Pidgeot besides Pumice, and this was actually after that, but I was in a weird mood. I was like being really weird, and I was saying George W. Bush, and when I caught the Pidgey, I named him W because I wanted to be weird. And that's it. That is all my teams as of right now. Still adding. I don't do as many regular playthroughs as I used to because I'm into Wedlocks now, but Wedlock teams that make it get transferred over here. So, with that being said, I'm going to show you my Pokemon Bank really quick because why not? And yeah, I'll see you guys over at Pokemon Bank. Alright, everybody. Sorry about that. I'm not actually going to be able to show you my Pokemon Bank because my Pokemon Bank's on a different DS, and I have a different Nintendo Network ID or whatever associated with my 3DS capture card, so I can't actually record Pokemon Bank, which is unfortunate, but you're not really not missing too much. It's just a complete living dex that I did completely legit back in Heart Gold, and I've just kept it updated every new game that comes out. It's not actually even finished with Sun and Moon yet. I still have to fill that out. And I'm missing the Unova legendaries. Like, I'm missing Arceus, I think, and Genesect. But I'm not Arceus. I've got Arceus, but I'm missing Genesect and Keldeo and Meloetta. Those are the 3 Pokemon I'm missing, I believe. But other than that, I just have a whole bunch of extra stuff and all my Abra with different Synchronize and stuff like that. So you're really not missing too much. So yeah, with that being said, I really hope you enjoyed this little update special video. And if you did, a like is appreciated, helps out a great deal. And I'll see you guys here soon, hopefully in a week or two, with the White 2 Wedlocke and a brand new Let's Play to get myself back into YouTube. So until then, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.